Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ninth round of Season 16 in Division 2. My name is Enla Phoenix 1. I will be taking you through tonight's action at the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring for what should be another very exciting Grand Prix. We're gonna have a full grid tonight. Fortunately, I am on my own for comms, so I'm gonna have to try and stay on top of everything all on my own. That'll be a good bit of fun. Yeah, 19 drivers in right now, just waiting for the two Saubers. As per usual, they will never be on time. Um, so we will head into qualifying now, and then the Saubers can join in a bit. Lanky Brown and Thunder Fox. So we've got actually every single main driver apart from Guggenriver racing tonight. Guggenriver has had to drop out. Damien is taking his place at Haas. We actually had two more reserves available who would have been making their debut today. But unfortunately, for them there was no space, which, I mean, for us as a league is a nice problem to have, that we have so many drivers that we can't, that we can't field everyone. But, of course, for them that would be quite disappointing. But nonetheless, we can have a great race today here in Hungary. A potentially championship-defining race so close to the end of the season. Of course, there's only a handful of, not even a handful of races left to go in the season. After this, another 3 races. We've got Hungary today, and then in the 3 weeks coming after that, Austria, Brazil, and Monza. Some absolute classics to finish off the season here. Bit of a European tour. The championship situation is that Edwin currently leads on 139 points, of course, with the 0 points for him last week, as he had to leave midway through the race because of a personal emergency. Gabriel moved a lot closer. Gabriel with a P2 finish behind Phantom Fox there. It's now 23 points behind on 116. The next closest drivers are the two V-Cabs, PC William Sully, PC William 84, Sully on 83, so 55 and 56 points behind respectively. Quite a long way behind. And then we've got Kuku on 75, Phantom on 71, those two 64 and 68 behind Edwin each. So mathematically, sure, there is still a lot more people in the title fight. 4 times 26 will be 104, right? Yeah, surely. 4 times 25 and then plus 4, 104. So with that math, actually, Aussie and Sean are still in the title fight as well, who are 85 and 88 points behind. So we've got a 7-way title fight still coming into this race. But realistically, it's between Edwin and Gabriel from here. The two Ferraris deciding it among each other. We go telemetry. Oh, why can I not see a name up here? Oh, now I can. Okay. Give you a lap data. There we go. The tires, don't need to know that. Flavors on mediums initially, so he's saving this off for later maybe? I'm not quite sure. And the game is, like, remarkably loud. Let me just turn my headset down because I think on stream it's a good volume. If not, I suppose you can tell me if I need to change the game volume. It's the same setting I have it usually, I'm not sure why it's so much louder. So the first car's already on their hot laps, I think. No. Damien? Is he on a hot lap or just come out the pits? Not sure. But Mihai for sure is on a hot lap, but 2 Haas coming out very early here. Of course, Damien as a reserve for Haas. He's gonna want to represent them well. He actually picked up his first podium in the league a couple of days ago in the Division 1 race. So that's quite a good sign for him, I would imagine, if he can get podium in Division 1. I would think that he can also do quite well in Division 2. Logically speaking, at least. Mihai all over those curves to the chicane. really sending the car. Now gets a bit loose as he went a bit far over that curb on the inside. Fully flat through here, I imagine. Yep, Mihai not lifting even the tiniest amount. 53.2 middle sector. Let's see if we can get Damien's time. 54.0. So quite a big difference there between two Haas. Mihai is significantly faster than Damien. But he's actually on medium ES the whole way around, so I'm not sure if Damien is even trying to do a qualifying lap. A 15.6. And for Mihai it's going to be a 1:14.6, so full second that Mihai has just put between himself and his teammate. We've got Flavors into the final corner on the mediums. Nonetheless, we'll watch him finish the lap, see if he can maybe beat Damien. And indeed he can, 15.4 for the Alpine man. You see a McLaren over the line. Well, I think that was someone starting a lap, either OS or Action Brake. Dylan goes second fastest, 2 thousandths behind Mihai only. And now we've got DC Rival coming up to the line to finish his lap. That's going to be a 1:15.050. Gabri coming out the final corner. Edwin, third fastest, 14.8. And Gabri goes top with a 14.2. 6 tenths faster than his championship rival, 4 tenths faster than P2. That's a good start into the qualifying right now. Kuko now with a 14.4. Bridges the gap between Mihai and Gabri. And now we have Lanky Brown, and that means that we have got our full grid. Sean, they're just about avoiding an invalidation. No, doesn't avoid a validation actually, just took a while to update on the track map on the bottom right. We've got Sully on hot lap as well, of course. One of the top drivers in this division, our reigning world champion, for good reason. This season has not gone quite to plan for him. He's had some ups, but he's had quite a lot of downs as well. And that's cost him a chance at a title defense. But still lives in a hope to finish the season on a high. Put a nice end to F124, attack again in F125, for which we have actually announced our calendar yesterday. Our first races on F125 will be social races. We will have 3 social races on the 7th, 11th and 14th of June. And those will be at the reverse tracks, so reverse Silverstone, reverse Austria and reverse Zandvoort. And the week after that, on the 18th and 21st of June, we start our season proper in Australia. I could go through the whole calendar now. It's an 18 race season. I'm not going to actually go through the whole calendar. That is, no one's actually going to be able to remember that anyway if I just talk you through it. But you can see it on our Discord channel, on our Discord server, sorry, in the F1 calendar channel. So all you'd want to know, you can see there. All dry, the weather report for this race, at least that's what I'm being told by Gabri. So that's good news for the drivers, I imagine. A nice dry race, what they practiced for. Sean going 5th fastest with a 14.8. Mihai still up in 3rd there with a very strong qualifying. Of course, as much as I don't want to disrespect Mihai, is not one you usually see up in the top 3. But it's looking very strong for Gabri. Most of the top drivers done a lap by now. The only one who hasn't is PC Woody. We're currently on board with him. And Gabri is 2 tenths clear of P2, 4 tenths clear of P3. His title rival down in 6th. Looking good for Mihai. Although I'm pretty sure Sully can do a whole lot faster than 15.2 at least, if I remember correctly from his times in Division 1. And I would be surprised if that's all the pace that Sully has as well. PC really then coming into the last few corners now. Sending the car into the last corner. Stays in 5th gear all the way through. Of course, helps a bit on traction maybe. And the DS open to the line. That's a 14.565. Exactly a 10 faster than Mihai, and he goes 3rd fastest. Let's see, we've got Desi on another hot lap, I believe. Currently sitting in 12th with a 15.3, and now he goes back to the pit lane. And with that, I think there's actually currently not a single driver on a hot lap. Seeing a Haas, that's Mihai who's coming down to the line to start another lap. It's current best, enough for P4, a 14.6, but it's fairly close. Dylan only 2 thousandths behind him, and then 2 tenths behind that I've got Edwin, Ossie, and Sean, who are all in the 14.8s. So he's gonna need improvement if he wants to actually stay up here. That looked like a fairly clean turn 1. You could tell the traction control really hampering his exit though. Oh, he's messed up the lap already. I think that's might be the end of the lap for Mihai there. Getting all over the curb into turn 2. The car gets really loose in the exit. Yeah, he's down 2.5 tenths. And that's going to be an invalidation for Mihai. Kuklo starting a lap. Currently second with a 14.450. Kuklo had a rough time last season. He's back quite well now. Just over a 10th gain in the first sector. He's been up there, especially in the qualifyings this season. One of the fastest drivers in the division. And in the races, on his day, when he has a good race, he has a really good race. Coming up to the back of the Ferraris, thankfully moves out the way just in time. Still up by 3 thousandths, but the middle sector was not ideal for him. He's lost a bit of time compared to the first part, but that was a really, really nice corner to do there. I'm not sure what turn number that is. A more prepared commentator would be able to tell you that. And into the last corner. Rotates the car in aggressively on the steering wheel. Here is down to the line. 78 thousandths gain, 114.372. Not sure where I got 30 from. So a small improvement from Kuko, but it's not enough to dispatch Gabri, who is still sitting on provisional pole. And it's currently going down towards turn 1 here. We've got the Ferrari man. The man chasing Edwin in the championship. Wanting to secure that pole position. Edwin in the meantime has gone up to P3 at some point. 14.512. Very crucial for him to be up at the top. At the moment, with 4 races to go, it's still completely in Gabri's hand. If you do the math, if we were to win the next 4 races with Edwin finishing second, so if Gabri does everything that he can do, and yeah, without any help from anyone else to beat Edwin as well, Gabri would still win the championship as he invalidates. So yeah, like I said, at the moment it's still completely in Gabri's hand. He doesn't have to rely on anyone else to help him. That's, I think, quite a nice position to still be in, of course. Not quite as nice as Edwin's, you know, just leading the championship outright. We've got Sully coming out in the last corner. He was up by 5 tenths in the middle sector. So a big improvement coming from Sully. He's going to jump up quite some way. Dylan with a disconnect, and Sully goes 5th fastest, 14.633. And I am going to re-invite Dylan as soon as I possibly can to get him back into the lobby. There he is. One and a half tenths gained for Sean in the middle sector. Currently sitting down in 9th, the 3-time world champion. He's going to aim to be a bit higher than that for sure, of course. His strength, as we know, is in the races. But nonetheless, 9th is not what he should be aiming for. And he goes over the line, improves by 60 thousandths, but stays in P9. That's not what Sean needs. Got Bazooka on a hot lap, currently down in 20th. One of the 4 without a lap, Lanky, Pix and Phantom also all without laps at the moment. Just to make sure everyone is in the lobby now. 2 seconds separating the entire grid from Gabri to Action Rig. Marcelio back out on track. I see Desi. Is he on a lap at the moment? Yes, he is. We can have a look at him in a moment. Bazooka through the final corner. Completes his first firing lap of possession with 5 minutes to go. That's going to be a 1:15.476. It's enough for P14. Beats Damien, Marcelio and Action Rig. Not far off Desi. He's actually leaving his auto tech enabled through these twisty sections. Interestingly. Not sure if he's just forgetting to turn it off or if this is technical, but he's up by 4 tenths, so maybe it is intentional. That would bring him between Flavors and Aussie if he matches his previous final sector time. Into the last corner he goes. Once more, ERS used down to the line. DRS enabled at a 15.135. Lost a bit of time in the final sector and ends up just behind Flavors in P12. Marcelio, with an invalidation, just as I go on board with him. He goes a little bit too deep, going through turn 4. Just sneaks over the white line exit. And the game immediately very strict about the track limits. RDF1 games. Yeah, that's Marcelio's lap over. Kukro on another one with 4.5 minutes to go. 1/10 down in the first sector though. That's not what he needs right now. And that's the lap completely gone as he goes over the curb, coming through the long right-hander of turn 5. That curb, yeah, you really should not touch. I remember back when they first made that curb incredibly slippery. I think it was F1 2018. It took me a while to adjust for that. And since then you know to just stay away from that at all costs. It sends you into spin immediately. Viral and Marcelio are out. And I did see Viral's car at the final corner, so they didn't retire in the pit lane because they were out at the exact same time. So I think they might have crashed into each other. I'm not sure who crashed into who blocked who. But nonetheless, the end of qualifying for both Viral and Marcelio, that might go down to the stewards then. Potential penalties on the cards for qualifying blocking. I'm reading Marcelio saying, whoever that was, I'm so sorry, and Viral is saying W2F, so I imagine that Marcelio blocked Viral, and Viral couldn't get out the way, and they're both out of qualifying now. That's very unfortunate for them both. So, the calm before the storm. Almost 3 minutes to go, just under 3 minutes to go. Gabri coming up to the final corner is going to start his last lap of the qualifying session. And everyone is coming out the pit lane right now. That could be a problem for Gabri. It's a bit of traffic, but that's Aston Martin and his teammate who both let him through nicely, so he's actually fine. Gabri just about avoiding the massive traffic that's going to come out the pit lane now. And I think Sean won't be so lucky. He's not got too much as well. Also only 3 cars. So, Gabri at the moment on provisional pole. Let's see his sector one time. He's up by 11 thousandths. So a small improvement in the first sector. And he's carrying lots and lots of speed through turn 5. The empty chicane he goes. Stays off the big sausage curves. But of course, cuts the track as much as possible with the curbing. Halfway over the curb on the exit, but staying within the white lines everywhere. Fully flat, and 27 thousandths up. So you can see this lap from Gabri really clean, and still it's only such a small time gain. His previous laps were already quite well optimized. Into the last corner he goes then. Is there going to be one more improvement from Gabri right at the end of qualifying to secure his pole position? It's a 14.282, he has lost a bit of time in the final sector and did not improve on his overall lap time. Sean, meanwhile, he's up by 2.5 tenths, so he's about to jump up the field a little bit more. Currently down in P9, and he goes third fastest, 14.391. Edwin coming out in the first corner, he's got an Aston Martin right ahead of him, and that will be Dylan, of course, Marcelio's out. Dylan on a hot lap himself, so Edwin picking up a bit of a slipstream maybe. Cheeky from Edwin. Of course, we are one of the few leagues in this game who actually don't disable collisions. Quite simply because we don't want to have to do a reset every time. And because we think it's not that much of an issue. Of course, Edwin is running the risk of Dylan making a mistake up ahead, and that would ruin Edwin's lap together with him. So far the slipstream hasn't really gained more. I think it's a little bit too far away for a proper tow. Of course, through this track the slipstream doesn't even gain you all that much. 2 tenths gained in the middle sector for Edwin. Mihai goes top! What? 14.197 for Mihai! I did not expect that whatsoever. Pole position, provisional pole position for Mihai. Dylan comes over the line, goes second fastest, Edwin goes fifth fastest. Are we about to see one of the biggest stories, at least I would say so, in Division 2 history? Mihai sitting on pole position with the time run out, everyone on their last laps. Can someone do something about that? Sully only goes 8th fastest. PC is still on a lap. Kukyo didn't gain the first sector, and he's got his teammate Desi up ahead of him, who just about gets out the way. 74,000 gained, that is not nearly enough. Ossie is done, Dylan is done, Gabri is done. Unless Kukyo, PC or another surprise pole sitter can do something about it, we are gonna have Mihai on pole position. Let's see. Kukyo through the final corner, currently down in 6th with a 14.372. That's not enough, he doesn't even improve. Pisivri, 1.5 tenths up in Minnesota. Can he spoil the Haas party? Can he spoil Mihai's big moment? No, he can't. That's not enough. Pisivri only in 4th, and that's it. That was it. He was the last one. Gabri and Dylan are on their way back to the pit lane on a slow lap, and it's Mihai on pole position here in Division 2 at Hungary. What on earth am I witnessing? What? Just what? What? Mihai on pole with a 114.197, and it's so close. Dylan, 114.205. Only 8 thousandths behind Gabri. About 40 thousandths behind that at P3. 14.247. And then about 30 thousandths to PC with a 14.279. Half a tenth to Ossie, 14.322. Edwin, 27 thousandths behind that with a 14.349. And then once again, less than half a tenth to Kuko in 7th. What a crazy close grid we've got here. And Mihai, like, the most perennial backmarker in Division 2 history, I would say. On pole position. Absolute cinema. Gabri with the Hungarian flag for the day. He's got Hungarian heritage as well as the Italian, so it's also home race for him in a way. Yeah, Kuko in 7th, and Sean so close behind as well, the top 8 within 2 tenths, and Sully just over 2 tenths as well in 9th. Then Flavors rounding out the top 10. Then we've got Viral in 11th with the crash hit with Marcelio, costing him a chance at a better qualifying position. Damien in 12th, then we've got Desi, Alwise, exactly the same lap time as Lanky Brown. Bazooka, Marcelio, Action Rig, the last one with the lap time. Pix and Phantom Fox didn't do a lap, they round out the grid. Wow. Wow. Mihai on pole position. I cannot believe it. And that is some quite dark skies. Are we sure there's no rain? Well, and now we can get prepared for what could be a very, very good race. Seeing those gaps and seeing the... Well, I mean, just seeing Mihai at the top of the timing tower when we start the race. I mean, what can I say? Mihai, congrats, man. Yeah, I mean, I must say, I've memed Mihai a whole lot, and he's deserved it. He's had some massive stinkers in Division 2. He has been one of the slowest, pretty much ever. I think he joined pretty soon after we started Division 2, and he was always one of the slowest. He was really crash happy, but he stuck with it this entire time. He has never left fully. He's had like little breaks, but yeah, he's been here this whole time basically, and he's got his moment now. He's on pole position. And on pace, like, that was a good lap. The Division pole time wasn't much faster than that. And there we have it. The 5 red lights, Mihai on pole, next to Dylan. And it's lights out, and away we go. Mihai getting away decently, but apparently PC when he's leading now. I'm not sure if that's true. There are blue flags being waved, and DRS enabled. We're on lap 2 already. What? Has something broken? Very weird. And also half the cars, like, yeah, PC is a lap ahead, I think. At least according to my timing sheets, but Mihai still leads ahead of Gabri. Ah, okay, now it's correcting itself. Okay, just a desync moment for me. Sorry, that's ruined the start a little bit. This is the commentary, but for the driver I think it was all normal. So, Mihai leads on the first lap. Dylan dropping down to 4th. He's been jumped by both Gabri and Pisivoli. Then we have Edwin, Ossi, Kuko, Sean, Flavors, Damien. Sully down to 11th. He's had a terrible start. And we still see him blue flags. I hope this is only me and it's not just the whole lobby that's glitching out. So, hard tires for Damien and Marcelio. Sivoli's gap is still broken. Ossi with a move on Kuko for 6th. Marcelio, Phantom and Damien on the mediums, everybody else on the hards. And now Gabri and Mihai are a full lap ahead apparently. Oh no, my timing tower is completely broken, guys. Kuko sending it back up the inside of Ossi. Reclaiming 6th position down towards turn 1, but they are gonna lose DS I think with this maneuver. A bit of lag there as well. Okay, this is not looking good. I hope that I just have like terrible lag right now, and that is not the whole lobby. I mean, at least the lobby is not being hosted by me. The lobby host is Marcelio, so if it is on my end, that will be only the stream and only my view, thankfully. But yeah, this is not great. But Pisivoli and Dylan are definitely not 1 and a bit minutes behind Gabri and Mihai. They are right behind still. We've got a train all the way down to literally the entire field. All 20 cars still 1 DS train here, I think. Absolute scenes here in Hungary. Gabri, I think, is a bit too far behind for a run on Mihai into turn 1. I can't believe the words coming out of my mouth, genuinely. An absolute Mihai masterclass, and we're only 3 laps in. And now the timing tower has corrected itself completely. Sully with a move on Damien, moves back into the top 10. Of course, Damien on the hards got the tire disadvantage there, especially off the start. But Sully is now gonna have to push hard to get back into the 1 second range of Flavors, make sure that he stays in the DRS range. Once you lose it, it's gonna be quite hard to get back into it. Not as hard as in other tracks. Hungary isn't the worst for DRS trains, but it still is. It's still F124, so it's quite bad if you lose that DRS connection. You really want to avoid having that happen to you. But Mihai doing a good job at the front of managing this race. He's got a good bit of ERS, he's got a nice gap to Gabri, a healthy gap, that he doesn't have to worry about being passed any moment. My controller is almost empty. Let me just fix that. Okay, I've got a new controller. Fully charged, and we're back. But the guys are settling into a nice rhythm here. Almost everyone in 1 DRS train. Marcelio is into the pit lane. Coming in from the hards on lap 4. I imagine a wing change. Can't get the camera changed unfortunately right now. But yeah, a wing change from Marcelio. And a swap onto the mediums. So he's gonna have to see if he can back towards the points. Gonna be very tough on a day like this with a full grid. He's got a lot of work to do now to get back towards the top 10. DC Rao, meanwhile, has made a move on Damien. Damien on those hards, dropping back. He did the same strategy in Division 1 and worked out very well for him. There was a safety car after the medium driver starters pitted and before he had to pit. So that helped him to get up the field, and from there he just brought it home basically. So if he can do the similar thing today, that'd be very nice for him. But of course he can't bank on a perfectly timed safety car for you every time. Desi with the move on Bazooka, and they are side by side through the final sector there. Bazooka up the inside, Desi trying to hold it around the outside. Now they swap places for the final corner. It goes the other way of course. And Desi has gotten the move done. No move happening in the front though. Gabri is staying patient behind Mihai. And it's nice to see actually. Mihai is very much holding his own. That pole position was not a fluke. He has actually got some pace. He's not driving away, so it's not like he's dominating or anything. But I would say he's at the very least equal on pace to drivers around him right now. Whoa, no! Mihai! With a mistake! The commentator's curse has struck. But I think he has gotten away with that somewhat. I'm not sure if he picked up any damage. I don't see any damage. But a massive moment coming through turn 4. Loses the car, drops behind Gabriel and PC. He's in DRS range, he hasn't picked up damage. At least not visually, so the damage, if he has got damage, it's not too big. But still, quite a big setback there for his race. Damien and Viral battling over 11th, and Viral has to go off the track there. Damien lets him back through. And they have now lost connection to the top 10 completely. 3 seconds the gap from Viral to Sully. So the top 10 now, kind of doing their own race. These guys have dropped back a lot. Damien coming back at Viral, down towards turn 1. And there he goes. Squabbling happening in the background. Swell between the Alpine of Bazooka and I think the Report of Desi. Those two are not done with each other yet. Phantom Fox running in 17th. He's picked up damage as well off the start. Explains how he hasn't moved up his usual 15 places by now. Now Mihai has got a bit of work to do. Two of the fastest drivers that we have in Division 2. Gabri and PC Uli. I think PC Uli with the still the strongest win rate of anyone in the division. And, meaning wins divided by total number of races that he has attended. And Gabri, of course, fighting for a championship and, well, the perennial runner-up, basically. He's been fighting for it pretty much every single season in this division. He's never won it. Could this be a season? Mihai is now dropped out of the AS to the top 2. Gabri and PC really have driven away from the rest of the field. So maybe Mihai has picked up a bit of a small bit of damage because his pace doesn't seem quite as strong as it was off the start. Dylan with the send up the inside to turn 1. Mihai tries to switch back on him. Hasn't quite got the run on the exit. And Dylan has moved up to 3rd place. Sully in the meantime has come into the pit lane very early. I think he was right in the back of the train in... I'm not sure if it was... But definitely towards the end. I'm not sure if it was right in the back. But either way, Sully coming in with the undercut. He's going to try and get towards the front of the train, of course, with that. It's a very early pit stop. Lap 6 there. And I don't think he changed the wing. I think that was indeed just a tactical stop from Sully. Actually, I can have a... Yep. 2.2 seconds, so definitely no wing change there. That was just a tactical stop. Edwin has snuck up the inside of Mihai through the middle sector. Mihai is struggling a lot now. He's lost DRS to Dylan as well, which I imagine is why Edwin tried to force a move through the middle sector to make sure that he can stay closer. Mihai coming back at Edwin though, sends it up the inside to make a bit of contact. But Edwin has come out ahead, but no DRS for Edwin down the next straight. Oh, and Mihai gets a bit loose on the exit. Edwin into the pits to respond to Sully's undercut. And so is Dylan. Very early pit stops from everyone. Aussie and Sean in it as well. Really early stops from the entire field now. And QQ with the move on Mihai for it will be 3rd on track. PC will be staying behind Gabri. So where they're going to come out in relation to Sully. We've got Sully coming into the last corner now. Dylan, Sean, Aussie, Viral, all in the pit lane. Double stack at Mercedes, so Viral's going to lose a bit of time there. Got a yellow flag for Bazooka, who's retired. The crash coming out of turn 1. Bazooka's out. We've got a full course safety car. Bazooka stopped on the right hand side there. I'm not sure what happened to him, unfortunately. Of course, he was involved in that big battle. And this is the worst case scenario for Dylan, Edwin, Sully, Aussie, Sean, Viral. They just made their pit stops under green flag conditions. And now every single driver ahead of them, apart from Phantom and Damien, they are kind of screwed here. Starting on the hards. Well, every single driver ahead of them can make a pit stop now, go to the hards, go to the end of the Grand Prix, and be sorted. I'm not sure where the likes of... Well, Dylan is now the leader of the guys who made a pit stop already. We'll see where they filter out again, of course. Gabri and PC, all of the guys on mediums are gonna come in now for hards, obviously. They can go to the end. So it only makes sense to make a pit stop now under the safety car. See what the guys in the hards do. Damien's in as well. Phantom Fox, despite the wing damage, is staying out. I thought maybe Damien would stay out without damage, but Phantom Fox having damage, I thought he'd come in for some mediums. But he's actually going to stay out, take the track position. He will lead the Grand Prix out on track, but he has got to make a pit stop, while no one else in this race has to do so. So if Gabri comes out P2, then we have PC, then Kugel, then Mihai, Flavors, and then we Dylan. Dylan, Edwin, Sully, Ossie, Sean, Damien, Lanky Baron, Owise, Pix, Viral, Desi, Action Rig, and finally Marcelio. Our new running order. I wonder if Phantom didn't pit to help Lanky Brown, because for his strategy I think the best thing would have been to pit, but with the wing change he would have had to make, and the fact that his race is now kind of screwed anyway with the safety car, because the medium that he would have to switch onto, well, it might last that long, 25 laps, but it's a big stretch. You would be quite slow towards the end. So he was kind of screwed here anyway. So if he pitted in front of... Oh, was he in front of Lanky Brown? I can't remember if he was in front or behind Lanky. But if he was, then maybe he wouldn't have wanted to pit in case... to basically help Lanky, because if Lanky's behind and he has double stack behind a guy changing a wing, he's gonna lose 10 seconds easily and so many places under the safety car. I guess we'll see if Phantom is in this lap, or if he's committing to staying out. I mean, he's warming those tires up, so I imagine he actually wants to stay out on these. Or, you know, he's just bored. But it seems that Phantom is indeed going to stay out on the old tires with the wing damage. He doesn't seem to care. So he's going to have a tough job here to try and hold on to those places, and to try and get back into the race after his pit stop. Of course, he could be gambling on another safety car coming out later on. Still have 19 drivers left, so I would say it's not unlikely. Safety car should be in towards the end of the lap now. Marcelio will have caught, and then there's no reason to keep the safety car out any longer. And Phantom is going to be a crucial piece in the puzzle for the battle in the race win, for the race win here, I imagine. His wing damage on his old tires, I think if Gabri or anyone else can get ahead of him and have him between well, himself and the rest of the field basically, then Phantom could act as a blockade, and for example Gabri, of course he has the best chance being right behind him, can then build a gap, get out the 1 second range and drive away. So it would be crucial for the cars behind Gabri that if Gabri makes a move on Phantom, that they follow through quickly. So wherever sort of Phantom settles into the train, I imagine that's where the train will break. So you want to try and get past Phantom quickly as soon as he ends up ahead of you. Make sure to have the EAS safe for that. Maybe battle a little bit less with the other drivers, because the crucial thing now is to get around Phantom Fox. But we shall see. I mean, maybe Phantom Fox has got amazing pace and just holds onto the lead, or holds onto the DAS of Gabri easily. Who knows? But you would think with the damage and the old tires, he is at a big disadvantage. He should be a bit slower. And here we go. Phantom Fox through the last corner. When is he going to accelerate? Now! And a good reaction from Gabri, an even better reaction from PC. He's practically pushing him down this main straight. PC goes to the outside. Is he gonna have a move on Gabri? He sends it up the inside under braking, and he gets to the apex, gets the car stopped, and gets ahead of Gabri. What a move by PC. Gabri was defending it all the way throughout the straight, but PC laid on the brakes. Not something you see too often in league racing, with the margin so close. No tire difference whatsoever. It's quite difficult to pull off a move like that. but Peaceably managed it to perfection. And now, he is the one in prime position to get past Phantom Fox and then try and build a gap to everybody else. But for the moment, he is sticking behind. He doesn't want to force a move through the middle sector. He might wait for the main straight. And then, absolutely crucial, Gabri, he needs to follow through. He can't allow Peaceably to get away now. And you can see, Phantom Fox is holding this pack up massively. There comes Peaceably with a move into the last sector, actually. Doesn't want to wait for the main straight. Makes his way around the outside here through the hairpin, does he? Phantom Fox has got the inside line, has got the advantage, but now that switches in favor of Peaceably. Phantom Fox tries to hold it around the outside and actually does hold it around the outside. Onto the main straight we go, and now with the slipstream, they're moving left and right, all over the place. Phantom Fox on the outside, Peaceably on the left-hand side. Gabri late on the brakes, sends it in there. Peaceably is past. Gabri is trying to follow through now on the left-hand side of Phantom Fox around the outside. In turn 2, Phantom Fox is going to try and hold it up the inside, is he? But I think Phantom Fox doesn't quite have the grip he needs. Yes, Gabri swoops around the outside, and now Kuko needs to follow through as well. He's around the outside into turn 4. Phantom Fox tucked in behind Gabri. Dylan undersees off and rejoins behind Mihai. Does he? They're side by side through turn 5. Absolutely crucial as well for these two now to get past Phantom Fox. And here comes both Dylan and Mihai battling each other instead. And of course that's great news for Gabri because Edwin is stuck behind them. Now we've got a virtual safety car out on track. Picks with a 3-second time penalty. Not sure what the virtual safety car is for. No one is crashed. And I don't see any massive wing damage for anyone either. But the race has been neutralized for a bit. The guys can recharge their energy. I can recharge my energy. Phantom Fox been passed by 3 drivers now. Dylan ended up ahead of Mihai still after going off. Rejoining side by side with the Haas. And now it's crucial for him to get a good restart. There we go. Race back on the way. And a very good restart from Phantom Fox. He is going to get back at Kuku. And here comes Dylan. They're going to be 3 wide in turn 1. Crucial moment for the race. Phantom Fox brakes early and often, but Dylan brakes way too late. Dylan with the, I imagine, accidental send on Gabri. Thankfully for Gabri, he was completely fine out of that. Dylan just spun himself on his sideboard. And we have pit stops from Damien, Vara and Desi, so I imagine that's what the VSC is for. They all picked up a bit of damage, I would imagine. And now Mihai getting past Phantom Fox as well. Gabri barely managed to hang on to the EAS of Peaceably, who has got a lot more EAS. Of course, he would have been impacted a bit, at least, by Dylan's, well, ambitious send to turn 1. Well, I don't think Dylan was trying to make a move on Gabri, he just overcommitted into the 3-wide battle with Phantom Fox and Kuku, I believe it was. Way too late on the brakes, went to the side of Gabri, and he's paid the price. He's spun around, he's now down in 15th. A lot of work to do for Dylan to get back towards, well, even the points from now. It's a 3-second gap ahead of Pix as well, so the top 12 have broken away from the rest of the field quite nicely. And Phantom Fox, as I said, he's barely in DRS range. Flavors is going to have to try and get around him now. But he's also very low on ERS, so even if he makes this move happen now, he's going to have a tough time to get into the DRS range of the cars ahead. Phantom tries to hold around the outside. Edwin trying to slip through as well. And we've got Aussie lurking in behind Edwin now, trying to hold it around the outside through turn 2. We'll switch the inside of turn 3, and that should be the position secured for Edwin. Can Aussie follow through there? Round the outside into turn 4. Phantom being attacked left, right and center, of course. And I saw a winglet flying there. I think that was Aussie's. Yes! I think he went to the back of Phantom Fox. And now Sully immediately takes a chance, sneaks up the inside. And he's gonna have the position, is he? No! Gets stuck on the curb on the apex there. Aussie swoops back around the outside. But indeed, Flavors has lost the ES to the top 4 and gets a 3-second time penalty. And with that, also crucially, Edwin no longer in the battle for the podium, at least out on track at the moment. We've got 20 laps to go, so a lot can happen. But the top 4 have broken away from the rest of the field, which includes Edwin, our championship leader. And if you're Gabri, that is absolutely amazing news. He is now battling with Peaceably, Kuku and Mihai for the podium spots, and Mihai is putting a lot of pressure on Kuko. Just look at how close he is down the main straight. Is he gonna look up the inside? Yes, he is. Kuko gives him the space. But I don't think he has to run on the exit, does he? Or maybe he does. Maybe he does. He's alongside on the outside. A little bit ahead now. Mihai swoops around the outside of Kuko. What am I seeing? Mihai! What a race he's having. Back up to P3. What a move. I am in awe, I must say. Penalty to Aussie, 3 seconds for multiple track limit warnings. Edwin has made a move on Flavors. He's now going to start chasing after those guys up ahead. He knows this is absolutely crucial for his championship ambitions. If he finishes down in 5th, that's only 10 points. If Gabri then manages to beat PC for the race win here, well, that would be a 15-point swing in favor of Gabri, so Edwin would still come out of this race as the championship leader, but it would be a lot closer. And Edwin does not want that. Of course, Edwin can also hope for a bit of help from Mihai and Kuku behind. They go for a move on Gabri, they beat him. But right now it looks more like Gabri is looking ahead rather than behind. Mihai is 8/10 back, and Gabri has a look up the inside to turn 1. Decides better off it, but he's showing himself. Flavors gets past Edwin, Sully gets past Vanderfox. And I see Always with a move on Lanky Brown, but he goes way deep, and it's an easy switchback for the Kicksauber driver. Always also with a bit of front wing damage to the front right end plate. Damage for both him and Lanky Brown. So they have both picked up damage somewhere. Sully is also out of the range, 2 Flavors and Edwin up ahead, so he's gonna have to try and put the foot down to stay in the battle for 5th at least. And the gap from the top 4 to the rest is opening up more and more, of course. They are pulling it along with the DRS. So it's going to become trickier and trickier for the cars behind to get back into this fight for the podium spots. Of course, a very, very long way to go. 1 safety car and that will all be gone. PC Willy 4/10 ahead of Gabri. Is he safe to turn 1? Does Gabri even want to go for a move? Or are we already... I mean, we're not even halfway through the race, but so I don't think we're ready for the DRS games yet. But I don't think Gabri's in a hurry to make a move on PC Willy. Yeah, he seems happy. He's not forcing it. Of course, there's no need. There's no reason why he'd want to be ahead right now. Unless PC Willy is slowing him down massively. Which he certainly isn't. PC Willy is by no means a slow driver. And Gabri knows that. Gabri knows that he has got no chance of making the DRS, really. So he might as well just stick behind, not waste any time or energy battling. If he has to make an overtake, if he's very close behind PC down the straight, he will, I imagine. But if it's going to end up with them battling into turn 1, losing time, why would they bother? All he's doing there is opening up a chance for Mihai or Kuko to get involved and make a move on him. And of course, for Flavors, Edwin, Sully in behind to get back up. Sully very much destroyed this train, the battle for 5th. And he's gapped Vandenfox in behind. We've got a yellow flag for Marcelio, who is spun around in the middle like there's another safety car, just like I said. And that's turned the race upside down again. And that's exactly what Vandenfox needed for his strategy. He can now pit onto mediums and make it in the end quite nicely. And PC Willy, Gabri, Mihai, Kuko, past the pit lane, Flavors, past the pit lane. Edwin is in. Sully staying out. Vandenfox in. Aussie out. Sean in. Always in. Lanky out. Dylan out. Pix in. Action Rig in. This is a very interesting position to be in. If you're on the hards here, do you pit? Or, well, at this point they've all answered that question for themselves. But I'm not sure how much what my answer would be, honestly. I think I would have pit to mediums. But I can understand staying out as well, because the hards don't wear out, well, much at all. And the mediums, they'll be a bit worn out towards the end, so it might even go, might even swing back in favor of the hards here. Damien is staying out on his 13 lap old hards. There's Pix, there's Action Rig, and then there's Desi. And now all of these guys, I imagine, will have got a new front wing, because Lanky wouldn't have changed his. Vandenfox hasn't changed his either. He decided to keep driving with the damage. And now we have Edwin on fresh hards, actually. Same for Sean. Always on the fresh mediums. Viral on the fresh... no, not even fresh, on the used hards from 5 laps ago. Damien. Pix. Action Rig. Desi. There we go. So yeah, Phantom Fox, the only driver out of the ones who made a pit stop to still have damage. So the rest either didn't have damage in the first place or changed in the pit lane. Quite an interesting scenario now. We've got Edwin in 11th. Surprised he had another fresh hard. So he must have picked a harder tire allocation. Same for Sean. And that could really help them in this race. I mean, because their tires, unlike the mediums that Phantom always picks an action rig have gone onto, those hards will not drop off whatsoever. So from here to the end, they have a massive advantage over the entire top 9. Who didn't pit under the safety car. So while Edwin has got, well, a lot of cars in between himself and where he wants to be, which is ahead of Gabri, or at least as close to Gabri as possible to minimize the points lost. He has got a big tire advantage, he can make his way through that field. Even if they drop out of DRS range, he will have the pace to get back into DRS range. Of course, he's got Phantom Fox now on the mediums as well to maybe carrying along a bit, and then once Phantom Fox's mediums drop off, you can just drive right past them. But the same thing goes the other way. Pisivoli, Gabri, Mihai, Kuko, Flavor, Sully, Ossi, Lanky, Dylan. And it is 9 drivers. You'd imagine one of them is gonna be a bit slower, it's gonna cause a break in the train, and maybe the gap will be too big to catch back up. I imagine that's the hope for the guys towards the front, that someone near the back here just ends up causing a break in the train, gets all the guys on their fresh tires out of DRS range, and opens up a gap that's as large as humanly possible to get, yeah, a bit of a safe buffer for the leaders. Now it'll be very crucial that there is not a lot of battling at the front. These guys need to work together if they can, but of course, well, they want to win as well. They need to beat each other as much as they need to beat the guys who pitted. Very, very interesting scenario now for the last 15 laps of this race. Pisivoli leads the train through the final corner. He's still waiting. He's going very, very late. And we've got some wings flying off, a lot of wings flying off there. Pisivoli has gone at literally the last possible moment. Kuko jumps Mihai. Ossi, I think, is side by side with Sully and Flavors in the first corner. Sully is going to be the wing damage. And I think it was Lanky who has picked up damage there. Off the restart. Kuko almost off the DRS range leaders. Look at that in the background. So much battling. Sully going past Ossi, who goes off. Lanky Brown with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And now we have Edwin up into the Phantom Fox. Makes the move on the Sauber. Up into P9. And Phantom Fox got massive damage. And now Sean is going to have to try and get around the Sauber. Because, yeah, Phantom Fox lose so much time with the wing damage that he's just picked up. Gabri and Pisivoli have gotten away from Kuko. They've built a 1-second gap. Exactly what they needed off this restart. And Viral getting past Lanky Brown. Viral goes deep though. Lanky Brown with the switchback. Through a fed out corner, not usually, but yeah, Lanky Brown is missing both end plates, and Phantom Fox has got even worse damage as he's trying to defend from Sean. But in the end, Sean slips through and Phantom Fox goes to the pit lane. Yeah, Phantom actually letting him through there quite nicely. Kuko burning his ears to get back into the battle for the lead. Mihai pushing hard to stay in the ES range as well. Crucial laps in this race. There comes Edwin up the inside of Dylan. And this is a championship defining comeback. Edwin needs to get through these cars to secure as many points as possible. Get back up towards Gabri ideally. Right now, Edwin scoring 4 points, Gabri scoring 18. That's a 14-point swing in favor of Gabri. Edwin does not need any of that. He's gonna have to get past these guys. 3-second penalty, Sully, of course. Right now, Edwin actually finishes 5th on penalties already. He jumps Flavors, Aussie and Sully, but still, he's gonna want to get around these guys so he can maybe get even more of this race. Mihai has lost the ES range to the top 3. Kuko, Gabri and PC really seem to be in a world of their own right now, out of the guys who didn't pit under safety car. And that's good news for them in a way, because it means that there is a gap that Edwin left to close once he gets around these guys. And Sean, still stuck behind Dylan, but not far behind Edwin either. These two are the ones to look out for now. Phantom Fox had to make a pit stop to change that wing. Of course, he had, yeah, massive damage off that restart. That was really unfortunate for him. Lanky Brown in as well. Both Saubers have lost most of the wing on that restart. Flavors up the inside of Aussie. Edwin trying to get through, but these two ahead battling is really bad for him, because it means it's a lot more difficult. This track is not really wide enough for a 3-wide situation. So he just has to wait behind, wait for his opportunity, and look at that, Edwin! What a move! He sees Aussie with the battle of Flavors, gets a little bit out of shape, a little bit deep, and immediately Edwin sneaks into that gap, midway through the corner. An absolute champion's move, I would say. And now his next opponent is the Alpine of Flavors. He needs to get around him as soon as humanly possible. The top 4 are in his sights. He's got Flavors and Sully on penalties. He can maybe get Mihai after that, but then there's a bit of a gap to the top 3. Has he got that in his locker? Has he got enough time? Has he got enough pace to get into the fight for the race win? Because if he does, that could put a final nail in the coffin in Gabi's title ambitions. But Flavors has just about held on to the DAS of Sully, which was bad news for Edwin, makes his work a lot more difficult. But Cel's a bit of a dummy, and Flavors, I think, somewhat fell for it. Has a bad exit, but not quite bad enough to allow Edwin to have a look anyway to turn 2. Still stuck behind, and he's losing time every single corner he does behind his Alpine. He needs to get around him, and now he's a nice run into turn 4. Is he gonna get around the outside? Flavors lets him past. Flavors doesn't want any of it. He does not want to get involved in a battle with Edwin. Doesn't want to risk his own race. He knows Edwin will get past him eventually. So yeah, it only makes sense for Flavors. And here we go then, next target for Edwin, the V-Cab of Sully. But Sully has got a bit of motivation to try and hold him up. You see really his teammate leading the race. If Edwin gets past Sully, if Edwin loses a lot of time behind Sully, it would be easier for PC really to bring the race one home. Then he only has to worry about Gabi and Kuko. And Sully's a bit of DAS up ahead as well, and a bit of slipstream from Mihai that will help him defend against Edwin. So we shall see. This could be Edwin's toughest move, because, yeah, Sully has got the most motivation to try and defend. What a send by Edwin! He saw Sully hesitating through the braking zone. He, of course, had to be careful with Mihai up ahead, and Edwin had none of it. He just fully sent it up the inside at the first possible opportunity. Edwin, once again, what a move! And now he's got Mihai. The last target to overtake before he can go chasing after that leading train. Pisivoli, Gabri, Kuku, they are all really close together, but they are not battling whatsoever. They can see Edwin moving through the pack, and they know that Edwin is going to start hunting them down. As soon as Edwin gets around Mihai, that gap is going to start coming down rapidly, I imagine. You can see how close he's able to follow, even with the non-EAS using all the way through here. And he's going to try and make a move down the main straight with the DRS. That will be his chance. Mihai has actually got a bit of wing damage. That's where the pace losses come from. Mihai, yeah, he was on the pace leader the whole race, and now the front right end flank's missing. That's why he's not out of the DRS range. But still holding on to 4th place, doing a very good job there, I have to say. Well, not just a very good job, an absolutely amazing job. But nonetheless, it will not be enough to overcome the tyre advantage everyone has. He just drives past on the straight, and now he's up to 4th. 2 seconds the gap from Edwin to Kuku. And now, the chase is on. Sully being passed by... no, getting past Sean somehow. Not sure what happened to Sean, but he's dropped a few places. And now keep an eye on that gap. 1.9 seconds. It's going to start coming down rapidly through this middle sector. Of course, he will lose a bit down at the air straights. But everywhere else, Edwin is going to start closing that gap rapidly towards these guys. And once he's in DRS range, they're going to have a very tough time trying to beat him. He will have a pace advantage all the way to the end of the race. Can Edwin bring home a race win? I would say it's looking really good for him, because you can see him in Macron. That gap is counting about half a second this lap. It was 2 seconds I think starting lap, now it's 1.3. He's come out, yeah, he's almost in DRS range already. He's of course going to lose a little bit down here now. But he will gain that easily back in sector 2. And the thing that Gabri, PC and Kuku have to worry about is that Edwin is not on mediums. His pace will not get any worse. He's got the same wear as them from here to the end. So here this advantage will not get any less. PC and Gabri now battling as well. PC really comes on ahead, doesn't help him. Edwin has not even lost anything to the DRS zones. 1.1 seconds. By the end of this lap, Edwin will be in DRS range. And I think we all know what's about to happen. 3-second time penalty for Sully, that's not what I meant. Edwin is going to start cutting through these guys like a hot knife through butter. They have not got anything to put against this, surely. And look at how closely they are following each other now through the middle sector. Gabri 2 tenths behind PC, Kuku is 2 tenths behind that, and then there's Edwin, and he's right in the battle. He's already making, Kuku already has to go defensive against the Ferrari behind him. Not a whole lot of laps to go though, but a whole lot of overtakes for Edwin. He needs to get past 3 cars here. The thing is, only 2 of them really, because the DRS pass on the last one will be fairly easy. And there we go, Gabri with that DRS pass alongside on turn 1. Pisivoli trying to hold on to it though. Gabri takes the lead. Pisivoli doesn't have DRS, but he still is going to try and come back around the outside. I think Gabri has the advantage. Yes. Oh, but they're still side by side. Jesus, Pisivoli keeping a nose in through turn 3. And back in turn 4, he's alongside around the outside. Pisivoli goes halfway over the curb. Kuko and Edwin making contact. Both losing a lot of time. Edwin and Gabri and Pisivoli are still side by side. Edwin is end up behind Kuko after that. And now Gabri sneaks up the inside on Pisivoli into the middle sector. What am I seeing here? Is Pisivoli slowing the train down to help Sully or what? Because why is Gabri able to attack through there? That straight is so crazy short. And look at how close this is once more. Pisivoli leads from Gabri, then Kuko, and then Edwin, and they are practically pushing each other through here. Sully is almost in range to them now. Edwin has a look around the outside in the final corner and Kuko already. And now all 4 of them so close together. And Kuko with a nice run on Gabri. Gabri has not got any ERS. He gets passed by both Edwin and Kuko. And Edwin might get 2 in 1 here, as he also gets past Kuko. Yes! Although Kuko is trying to come back at the Ferrari. He's got the inside line in turn 2. Can he hold on to the second position? Edwin with the tire advantage tries to hold around the outside. Gets pushed off. Kuko and Edwin both in the grass. Gabri sneaks back through. And Edwin might lose another place, because here comes Sully. And Edwin will not be happy about that whatsoever. Kuko, quite frankly, did not leave him any sort of space. Kuko even going off into the grass himself. And that's cost Edwin what could have been probably a race win now. He's down to 5th. He's got 4 cars in between himself and Pisivoli. Or in between himself and the win, I should say. And one of those, of course, being Pisivoli's teammate, being Sully. He's with a 3-second time penalty. His race is firmly ruined anyway, with the train being so close. Let's see if he will end up being a good teammate for Pisivoli. He's got wing damage as well on the front left-hand blade. Let's see. I think we're about to see. Yeah, because he can he's not even slowing everyone down. It's just he's on medium ERS. He's trying to stay in DRS range. He just can't. Barely held on now. Let's see. Can Edwin put a move on Sully? I think he can. So he's trying to hold on, but around the outside with the wing damage, just not gonna happen. And so Sean will also sneak through. Or will he? He won't! Sean is off! They make contact, and Sean is around on the exit of turn 2. He's picked up some... No, he hasn't picked up damage, but he's down to 11 still. Sully and Sean coming together. And that ruins Sean's chance of what could have probably been a podium still, with the tyre advantage he had over everybody else, coming into the last couple of laps. And now we are back to where we were before. PC only leads from Gary, then Kuko, then Edwin. Edwin with a 9-lap tyre advantage. 6 laps to go now. 3 overtakes to make. The cars behind are not able to stay in the AS range. Sully with the wing damage is just not capable of going any faster, and Mihai behind also damaged. And Flavors also has picked up a bit of damage. So yeah, all of these guys in behind are not a concern really for the top 4. They are only fighting each other. And here comes Gabri with a move on Pisivoli up the inside into turn 1. Late on the brakes. Pisivoli trying to hold it around the outside. Oh, they make contact and Gabri's round! They make contact and Gabri is round! I cannot believe it! From P2 in the race, battling for P1, Gabri rejoins the race in 9th position. And that's, well, another major moment in this championship fight. Now all of a sudden, Edwin with a massive points on Gabri. At the moment Gabri only scoring 2, Edwin scoring 15, another 13 points in favor of Edwin. 36 should be ahead after this race now. And honestly, Edwin is only going to gain more from here, surely. Because his tires are so much better, and he's only got 2 cars left to overtake now with Gabri spun around at the exit of turns 1. And honestly, I would not be surprised with a penalty coming Kuko's way for that incident he had at turn 2 with Edwin. That on a turn with Gabri I wouldn't want to judge, but I do think Pisivoli, I think at the moment of oversteer, sort of half spun into Gabri. So that could also be a, well, although Gabri is not going to report that surely, if it's going to give Edwin a win. But here we go. Only 4 laps to go. Kuko takes the lead of Pisivoli. Can Edwin sneak through as well? He has a look up the inside. That's very ambitious from Edwin. And he's pulled it off. Has he's alongside at least. Into turn 2. Ahead on the outside. Can he hold it around the outside? He can. They're still alongside. Pisivoli not able to hold it around the outside to turn 3. And that means Edwin is now up to 2nd place. And he's only got 1 more overtake left to do. Yellow flags for DC Viral, who's round at turn 3. What a race we're having, seriously, I cannot believe what I'm commentating on. This is absolutely incredible stuff. This race has truly got it all. Strategies, battles, storylines, safety cars. What more could you want from a race than what we're seeing right now? And there's still a couple laps to go. There could still be more twists and turns. It's looking very much like Edwin has got this one in the bag. The tyre advantage he's got over Kuko and Pisivoli surely it's too much to overcome for them. Is he gonna make a move on Kuko in the turn 1, or is he gonna try and wait for the last lap? I think we're waiting for the last lap, are we? Aussie in the pit lane. Gabri trying to come back. He's got Dylan and Sean behind. Right now he's chasing after Allwise for P7 on track. Flavors and Sully have got time penalties. Maybe Gabri can salvage a P5. I don't think he'll have enough time to get past Mihai. So yeah, I reckon he can get Allwise on track, and then the time penalties of Flavors and Sully will put him 5th. That will be, I think, all that Gabri can salvage out of this. A bit of damage rotation, but nonetheless a major blow. With so few races left to go, and the gap already, well, quite comfortable in favor of Edwin. Only gonna get more comfortable in this race. Not what Gabri needed whatsoever a race like this. We go into the main straight one more time. Edwin is saving a lot of the ERS. Is he gonna use it now to make the move? I think he is. He's wearing some overtakes in the slipstream of Kuko. Are we gonna see a swap for the lead here? Kuko is defending the inside aggressively. Edwin takes the outside line, but Kuko breaks later than the Ferrari and defends the position nicely. And now PC, when he sneaks up the inside, will turn to the outside for turn 2. Kuko giving PC the slipstream as well there as he stays in the racing line. But Edwin, with his superior grip, is gonna hold on to P2 up the inside line there, crucially for him. If he had dropped back behind PC, it would have been a lot more difficult for him to now win this race. But he's had to use a lot of ERS to hold on to P2 there after the failed overtake attempt on Kuko. And that could cost him maybe. 2 more chances with DRS down the main straight for Edwin to make that move. Does he want to go all in on the last lap? Lanky Brown retiring in the pit lane. He's done with this Grand Prix. Of course, he picked up damage, well, quite early on, and then more damage on the last safety car restart. And that was his race firmly down the drain. So start of lap 34, the second last time they're going to go down the main straight with DRS. Edwin has not got a whole lot of ERS charge to work with, Kuko has. Is Edwin going to try and make the move now? Doesn't look. I think Edwin is going to stay behind for the last lap, is he? He's in the slipstream, he's actually pulling to the outside, he's alongside Kuko. Kuko late makes once more, covers the switchback. PC really trying to switch back on Edwin. PC really once more, this time not on the long side. Edwin looks for a move left, right, not possible. One more chance. One more DRS run into turn 1. And that needs to be the one for Edwin. He needs to recharge his ERS now. And he needs to go all in on that last lap onto turn 1. That's his chance to win this race. He should have a major advantage over Kuko. On Kuko with a mistake! Edwin slips through! Kuko gets loose, jumping through the chicane, and Edwin into lead of the race. And now Kuko is the one who needs to try and come back at him, but you can see Edwin pulling ahead with the tyre advantage he has. Has Kuko got anything left in the locker to get back at Edwin with the DRS down the main straight? Or has Edwin just secured the race win with the mistake that Kuko made? Or could that mistake even have helped Kuko, because he will now be the one with the DRS down the main straight? And into turn 2 as well. There's only one detection point, of course. 4/10 the gap, and here we go. The deciding lap of the Grand Prix, the last lap of the Grand Prix. Can Kuko come back at Edwin? He's burning all of his overtake, but so will Edwin. And Kuko stands up the inside, late on the brakes, goes deep. Edwin with the switchback. Got Kuko. Has he got a run to turn 2? I don't think he has. He went too deep. He went too deep. The exit is awful, and that is going to be it, I think. Edwin with a beautiful switchback through turns 1 into turn 2, secures the position, and now the rest of the corners, there is simply no way. No more DRS zones, Edwin has a pace advantage, and you can't really pass through here anyway. Aussie now with the crash on the last lap as well, and that could be it. Well, not as good, that is it, I think. That is the race win for Edwin. Kuko has got no chance to come back at him. And what a drive from Edwin to come through the field like that. It was 11th, I think, after the safety car restart with about not quite 15 laps to go. And he's made his way all the way through. He's going to bring home the race win. Sean and Gabby are still battling over 7th on track. And PC really having a look at Kuko. Edwin, your race winner here in Hungary. His rivals and teammates' home race. And he's the one who takes on full points and puts what could be the final nail in the coffin for Gabri's title charge. Kuko picks up P2. A mistake on the second last lap has cost him. PC really brings it home in 3rd. Mihai with a very strong 4th place. He will be absolutely delighted with that, I imagine. Of course, after the pole position, maybe he would have hoped for a podium, but that is still, I'm fairly certain, his best result by an absolute mile. Sean able to beat Gabri to the line in 5th. Gabri 6th place, 8 points, 25 for Edmund, I think. Oh, it's a good fast lap as well, surely not. Fast lap going to Phantom Fox. Oh my god, I've got stick drift. This is not optimal. There we go. So, another 13-point swing. 13? No, 17-point swing in favor of Edwin. Only 8 for Gabriel, 25 for Edwin. It might be over, Lions. It might be over. Dylan bringing the car home 7th, and Flavors in 8th, picking up some points. Sully in 9th. You've been hoping for more out of this race as well. I'm gonna go through the rest of the results once we have the full result screen. Wow. Edwin driver of the day, I cannot disagree. There is no one else. Mihai or Edwin. I mean, Edwin was the best driver of the day. Mihai was the, for his usual level, best driver of the day, if that makes sense. What a race, an absolute classic. And I'm gonna say, that might be the best Division 2 race of all time. And Edwin can be very, very proud of himself. An absolute champion's drive. Mathematically, it's not over. But I think, at the end of the season, when he has secured the title, if he has secured the title, let's not get ahead of ourselves, this will be the race we look back to and say, that is where Edwin won the championship, that is where it was decided. An outstanding drive by Edwin. It was Desi who rounded out the top 10. He gets the final point for this Grand Prix. Always ended up only 11th. After he was running quite well for a lot of that last stint. Then Raul in 12th, Actonvik in 13th, Damien in 14th, Vandenfox at least for the point for fastest lap. But he's going to be really annoyed with that safety car restart. Then Pix in 16th, Ossie in 17th, Lanky in 18th. With a DNF as well, I believe. And then, oh, he's 4 laps down, he's still classified. Marcelio and Bazooka with DNFs in 19th and 20th. That was it from the Hungarian Grand Prix. Wow. Just wow, wow, wow. I simply cannot... I can't overstate how impressive of a race Edwin has just driven. To make his way through the pack like that, the moves he made, the pace he showed, or mainly the moves he made, so determined, so just he just went for it, and it was all, from what I saw as well, it was all clean. It wasn't like he just dived on people out the way. When he saw a chance, he took it, and not in a dirty way. What can I say, man? Just sneaking up the inside of people, the tiniest of mistakes he immediately pounced on and made his way through. Absolutely perfect, that final stint from Edwin, and exactly what he needed after a bad qualifying to get himself up to the top and secure, well, his 3rd race win this season now. Actually, his 3rd win in 4 races. His last 4 races, a win, 0 points in Zandvoort, and another win. And before that as well. I mean, what a season he's having. P2, 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 P3, P2, P1, P1. Then the race where he had to leave halfway through, and another win. Yeah. I mean, if you're Gabriel, you're gonna be very, very annoyed there with the moment he had with PC, really. He was in the fight for the race until then. Of course, Edwin with a big tire advantage, I would say probably would have beaten Gabriel nonetheless, but at least the gap would not be nearly as wide as it is now. Coming into this race, the gap was 23 points. If all stays as it is now, with a 17-point swing in favor of Edwin, that's now a 40-point gap with only 3 rounds to go. So in theory, Edwin can already win the title in round 10 at Austria, if he gets the gap over 52 points. What a race. I keep repeating myself. What a race. What an evening from qualifying, from the start, with the safety cars to the finish. Insane. Thank you very, very much for watching this race. It has been an absolute pleasure to be able to commentate tonight on Division 2. And if that is not a good advertisement for F1 Total, for league racing in general, that is why we do league racing. Races like this is what we love, this is what we're here for. Yeah. Well, I will see you guys next week for the Austrian Grand Prix, 7 days from now. It's always 7:30 p.m. UK time. Of course, on Saturday as well in Division 1. I'll be racing there. Hopefully a good race coming up as well. And a nice little announcement we had today as well. The esports division is going to be back on F125 with a small little cup tournament, knockout tournament. It's going to be, it's planned to be with 8 teams. There'll be a semi-final and then a final. The semi-final being split into 2 groups of 4 teams, with each team fielding 5 drivers. The top 2 teams of each semi-final go to the final, so then you once again have 4 teams, and the bottom 2 get into a losers bracket, where they also get a race. That will be on the 8th of June for the semi-final, and the 15th of June for the final and for the losers bracket. So, if you are involved in an esports team, or you run an esports team, you can sign up for that. Or, I mean, it doesn't even need to be an esports team. You can just get a group of 5 mates who run on no assists, and you can sign up for this. But I will say beforehand, if we get more than 8 signups, we will be prioritizing the known teams. Just because we know that there's a quality there. If we allow some team that we have not heard of, or a team that is like just formed for this from a group of mates, then we have no reference for the quality of the race we're gonna get. But yeah, we shall see. I mean, if we get, say, 16 teams, we can talk about a quarterfinal. Even if we get, say, 12 teams, we can talk about maybe adding a third semi-final, and then we see how we do it for the final. However, yeah, enough talk about that. Enough advertising. Well, see you all after that race. You better be tuning in for the next one as well. See you all next week for the Austrian Grand Prix. And yeah, have a good night.